Hold on. Are we pretty? Oh, okay, cool. So that was Lockdown and Desperate, which is the final series of the Locked Down and series, which is kind of sad because it seems like just yesterday we just started. I'm going to do some quick introductions, and then we're going to get started with the questions and the answers and all that wonderful stuff. So first of all, I'm Carrie. I'm from I own a company. I don't really ever know how to say that. Called Wonder Pup Media. And I am supporting the Reframed Collective in their social media with advising them on what to do with Facebook and taking over their Instagram, which I'm going to be handing over shortly. So don't be scared, you guys got it. So I'm gonna ask Natalie to introduce herself, and then you'll just, if the team that are on camera can just
I'll pass it to the next
suggest to the next person. Yeah. So
yep, so I'm Natalie Mallett, and I am the co-writer and director of all the series, and Sarah is my co-writer. Over to you.
Well, I'm Sarah, as Nat just said. Yeah, so, we wrote the other half after Reframed approached Nat, and we went from there really. And it starred the wonderful Melissa.
Oh, thank you. Hello, I'm Melissa Collier and I play Elizabeth, and it also stars the wonderful Eric E.
Is it like, like really nice? Compliments to each other. Yeah, I'm Eric Gaines, and I'm one of the founding members of the Reframe Collective, and I play Neil. And this is Anna Vecino, who is a guest for the Q&A tonight. She was the producer of Ground Rules, which was a web series that Reframe produced before. And then we've got Alex Devrient. We've got like so many Alexes.
Hey everyone, I'm Alexander Devrient. Lovely to see you all. It was really, really nice to see the the conclusion of the series. It's just amazing, all the work that's been put in, and the result was beautiful. And I play Felix in the series.
Should we go for David next?
Yeah, let's go, David.
Hello everyone, I'm David. I compose the music, and I was the overall music man for this for the series. Great to meet you all. Natalie brought me in. I've worked with her directly before and indirectly with Melissa on the short film before that. So yeah, and I believe Haresh did a lot of the sound. So I'll pass on to him.
I did. Hello everyone. Yeah, I'm Haresh, and I did sound posts on this. Natalie and I have worked on a little short film before, a long time ago now. It feels like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm really old. Yeah, it's been really fun doing this series. It's been really great fun.
And that's all of everybody that was in Lockdown and Desperate, but then we have other people here from other story strands. Do we want to introduce them? Alex is walking at the moment.
I'll go next, I don't mind. Hi everyone, I'm Alex Wadham. I played Jeremy in Lockdown and Dating, which was the first strand that was released. And yeah, apologies for the locale. I misjudged the time and I went on a really long walk and just getting back to a civilization. Anyway, but congratulations to you guys on both Desperate and also on Divorce last week. I think you've done a smashing work, and I really enjoyed all the projects and really enjoyed being part of it. So thanks for having me along. It's my first time working with Reframed, and I had a lovely time. So thanks. I can't tell who to pass it on to. Sorry, I don't have any people.
I think that's
everybody. Everyone. So.
Yeah.
So for our lovely audience members, you have two ways of asking questions when I open it up to you. One way is via the chat feature, if you don't want to be seen or heard. If you do want to be seen or heard, just like put a little message in the chat and we'll direct it to you so that people aren't talking over each other. So I have a few questions for the team. First and foremost, Natalie and Sarah, why did you make them lock poor Eric in a bathroom?
That was Eric's idea, actually. Eric?
I've always wanted to be locked down. It's been my fancy for years, and I wanted Melissa to lock me. No, that's not. I don't know. It's just that I had this vision of like you go. That's because a plumber came around to my house to fix not the toilet, but to fix a radiator, and I was thinking, you know, because they give you instructions about, you know, you need to clear the room and the person needs to be on their own and everything, because it was locked down. But we needed, you know, the thing to work. It was leaking. So I was just thinking, what would happen if there was someone a little bit lonely who would like company during lockdown? And that's
yeah. It, and I think when we first talked about it, the plan was a little bit darker. It was going towards some horror, that the plumber was killed in the end. And then I think we just talked about the current state of the nation, and that we should probably make it more hopeful, and more about being compassionate during these times, and kind of recognizing why people are acting unlike themselves during the lockdown. And then Sarah sent me an article. We were discussing that. Do you want to?
Yeah, I think we were just talking on the phone and we were like, let's not kill the plumber. It feels a bit in dark. And then we were like, well, what else could it be? And then we talked about, like, I think a pregnancy test on the toilets, and then just looked it up, and there was huge waves on social media, and I think it was in Vogue, lots of women who'd had miscarriages in lockdown and kind of couldn't talk to anyone about it, couldn't approach anyone about it, were really isolated with it. So it seemed like just a really good connection, and something that's kind of worth, you know, kind of being, I guess, showing a side of. And so it automatically just fitted, and we went from there, really.
Yeah.
There's something as well that I really liked about the story, was that these two people might not have talked like that if lockdown didn't happen.
Yeah.
And so that's really interesting that so many things have happened. You know, bad things have happened, but some tiny good things have happened too. And we might be seeing things differently from now on.
Yeah.
I think there was an early draft when me and Nat wrote, and we wrote kind of, I can't remember the line, but it was like kind of connection is important, and it was mirrored through every script, because that was kind of the key of all of these stories, was that it is important to connect, however you connect, whether it's with a stranger or your partner or, you know, your boyfriend or whoever.
And to be compassionate. I think that was the other thing we were talking about, you know, that it's okay to not be okay.
Was it?
Yeah. That was the line, which we kind of wrote in all of the scripts, and then we were like, I think we're over-egging the pudding a little bit here. I think they'll get it. But yeah. So that's where the idea came from.
Okay, now serious question for Melissa. Have you ever locked anyone in the bathroom when you're not as a character?
I didn't hear the beginning of the question, sorry.
I basically asked her if she's ever actually locked anyone in the bathroom against their will.
Every weekend.
Oh, yes, I was going to say every weekend, chicks. It sounds really fun. No, I haven't. I've been tempted to, but no, I haven't.
Good to know.
The closest to locking someone in I've got. Absolutely. Yeah, it's been amazing how different the journey of this story has been, because from the beginning, one of our things with Reframe, just to give the audience members a bit of background, is we always try and stretch ourselves and have ideas about parts that we wouldn't normally get to play, and try and get to play those. So I think I'd originally suggested that I wanted to be a Kathy Bates type character, which is where the horror idea came from.
Yeah, we were going towards like Misery, like big time. And then... Yeah.
And then luckily Sarah and all around, and came up with something brilliant, of course. And yeah, it was lovely to go for what we went for.
Sorry, I felt misery thing in the subtext. You know, it was there, I promise you. Somehow, because it was a bit sinister. Well, it was a bit sinister in a way, so it was there. I felt it. It's fine.
Yeah, there was still a layer. We wanted that layer anyway, didn't we?
Yeah, but that's the beautiful thing about that film, Misery. She's helping him.
Yeah.
That's how it starts. So it is.
Sound good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I ask this every week of all of the casts. You know, normally when you do a series, you have a full crew on set with you. And in this series, like the other two, Lockdown and Strain, you guys were the the crew as well as actors. How different for you, Melissa and Eric and Alexandra, was it to get your head around that not only am I acting, but now I have to think of the technical things as well?
Oh my God. I mean, I found it so difficult. These guys will tell you I'm the most untech actor you could ever meet.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Not anymore. I am actually getting better. But I mean, thank God Nat was there and, you know, to guide me through, because I found it quite tough. But I did learn a lot, actually, which I was really grateful for. So I learned a lot, and I've got massive respect for crew. Even more so now. Always have had, but even more so now, because it's so difficult to think of all the different angles and God, does this look all right? Does that look all right? And that was brilliant. Eric was brilliant, and Alex. So very lucky.
Yeah, there was one day that you guys were actually together on a shoot, which was unusual. Every other strand has been very separate, but you guys actually got to hang out together, didn't you? Although
digitally.
Physically,
yeah, remotely.
Yeah, we actually did. We actually set up this really fun shot where it was Alex was leant down looking through the letterbox, and Melissa was on the other side of it, kind of, and it was great. And it took us ages to set up the shot, and then it just didn't work in the edit. I felt really embarrassed. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we shut down the entire street, and the neighbors kept on checking what's going on, because I was doing quite a lot of shouting, but you know, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember that. You know, the kind of the beginning, I think. The first episode or something. I need to like open my bag, you know, take some stuff out, and then the mug, and then, you know, quite a lot of stuff. And really now I'm like, wow, continuity people, prop people, so much respect, because Natalie was like, okay, shall we do another one? Stand by. I go, whoa!
You're like,
every time it took me like ages to put everything back to normal. And then you could only see kind of my knees and my legs because you were on Skype on the floor. So, oh well.
Yeah. Yeah, we set up the shots first, and then I basically wasn't watching you. Melissa, I got to see you basically, the basic shot, because I was just behind your camera. So that was quite useful. Except when you're outside, because you're doing it on the phone. I can't even remember where I was, and I think I got all your shots afterwards. But weirdly, some of them were like shaky. I don't know what you guys were doing out there, but like you were shaking the earth or something while you were shooting those outside shots of the door banging. When the door banged, the camera was shaking.
We put it on a sort of tripod thing. We had it on a sort of frame,
yeah.
And it was slightly windy, and Alex was banging as well to the tripod. It was like that.
Yeah, I got the rushes. I was like, oh, okay. But I found a shot that was less shaky. Just don't like watch it full screen, because then you'll really notice the house is moving on the left hand side.
I didn't even know about that, but that's
Oh, really?
Surprise! Look at the rushes; they're all shaky. Yeah, these things happen.
Yeah, but I think we did a really good job of kind of making it look like the same house. The only thing I was Elroy, one of the other members of the Reframed group, I sent it to him to see what he thought, and he's like, so are you gonna like flip all of Melissa's shots, because the door opens in Eric's place the other way round? And I was like, no. I think we're just gonna hope that people don't notice. And remember that we're shooting this in lockdown with like no budget and no crew, and maybe they'll just be so caught up in the drama and the comedy that they won't notice. That's.
But we ended up having my basically I was like facing my door the wrong way. Like I wouldn't be, you know, the handle was on the left, and then I was actually facing the right side of the door, because yeah, I think that could have been a bit big. I don't know.
I think they did the same thing in Lawrence of Arabia, so we'll be okay.
Which is good enough for them. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, all in all, I think did a very good job. The thing, I think we said this briefly last week. I was talking about the kind of the different shots in Eric's bathroom. Obviously, all of his shots are quite elaborate. I was like, I want you over the toilet, and can we get the phone down there? And I just want to see your head like loom over. And he was like, sure. It's just like. I'm like, there's a window up there. Maybe you're looking out of it. You're like, cool. you were very good. But I also knew that you're quite technical. I knew you'd be able to set up the shot. So I could push you a little bit and kind of get them like fun little angles, I think.
How did you do that? Did you put your phone in the toilet?
No. It was on the floor, but I had to be much higher, you know, for the frame, because otherwise it would have been my head. And it was completely dark, so I had to completely fake it. Sorry, I'm breaking the illusion there. I just had to put my phone floating, you know, in the toilet or something, or like hanging, you know.
Yeah, like a rig, an elaborate toilet rig. Have you heard of those? We use them all the time.
I need to have a light. When I put the light there, obviously it was completely like, you know, really strong light on my face, so I had to reflect, you know, put a reflection. Thank you very much, Natalie, for that.
I think you pulled it off. I have no regrets.
I have a question for David and Harish. Now, obviously, Harish, you did the mixing of all the different sound levels that the guys got you, and, you know, did an amazing job. I didn't notice, you know, if I didn't know better, I wouldn't have known that it was shot in 3 different locations, or 2 different locations, really, which is, I know, is really hard to do. But David, how did you come up with the music that you did for the series? You know, what made you kind of go the route that you did?
Natalie and I started going through different things, looking at reference tracks. We looked at different comedy series like New Girl. We looked at Friends. We looked at Brooklyn Nine-Nine and seeing what they did with that. All of those shows we love, don't we? So we started to go from there. Then we went down a French route. We looked at what instruments particularly would bring out the comedy in the series, using, I don't know, double bass, using just different instruments to try and
increase the comedy.
Try and work. So yeah, exactly.
Weirdly, double bass is just funny, just because it's funny.
You just stick it in, and it's just hilarious. Yeah, and I was guided a lot by Natalie, a few back and forths, and then we got there, really.
Yeah. What he's not saying is, I told him to do about 16 different things that he did, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
That's not going to work.
Is that a bad reflection on me or on you?
No, me. I was like, I want this, and you did it, and I was like, no, I don't want that. That's basically what it was. But it was kind of, you know, we would just try to work out, what was going to work, and sometimes you don't know until you put it on, on the actual image, because sometimes it can feel overpowering, and then I kind of had ideas to put more all the way through, and then realized quite quickly that it was better just to kind of intro it and then outro it. And then with the third ep, obviously it's quite sad at the end, or just a bit more, just a bit quieter at the end. So I asked David to do a kind of a different version of the last, the outro, which I think I did just say, just make it sadder. And then you sent me back that, and it was perfect.
Special touch. Yeah, it's really, really interesting working with something as raw as this, because you see the transition from the state it's in at the beginning to the finished product at the end, and I'm very lucky to be a part of that. And the finished product, I think, is actually really good. So amazing work, everyone. Haresh, do you want to say anything?
I don't know what to say. What should I say, Natalie? Help me.
Say how great it is to work with me, the usual stuff. You know?
Always great to work with you.
Haresh, how difficult was it dealing with the bad quality of the phones and everything like that?
Yeah, that is definitely a thing. Phones can only render your voice to a particular degree, and you know, all you actors know that there's so much texture in your voice that I'm trying to get to the audience. So, you know, you have to kind of cut your losses and go with what there is, and just find a sort of balancing point between all of the different qualities of material, and try and find a point that is the path of least resistance for the audience when they listen to it, because ultimately the whole point is for them to listen to what the actors are saying and doing, and register that rather than register any of the technical stuff. So there was a lot of smoothing out of things to be done, and all the way down to sort of individually moving individual S's and sounds to make sure that they don't explode in the audience's ears and take them away from what the actors are doing. Yeah. So there's a lot of knitting.
Did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I obviously, yeah, I'm the only, well, me and Haresh are the only ones that heard the really raw sound. Actually, I sent it to some early cuts to you guys with disclaimers like, ignore the sound for now. Nobody's touched it apart from me, and it's bad. And then I call Haresh and I'm like, can you like make it sound like it's in a phone? And what did you say? It was like phoneify it. And I was like, are you messing with me? Like, is that a joke? But apparently it's a technical term, so now you all know as well. Just phoneify it.
Phoneify, that is a legit technical term now.
Now. Ouch. Yes.
I really like the music you did for the end credits on the 3rd episode. I mean, just like, you know, a little touch, because I think we had a discussion about it, Nat, didn't we? When you sent me the edit, yeah.
I think I'd taken all the music off the end because I was like, it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
But then,
then you just put like tiny touches. It was really, really nice.
Thank you. I think because it was so much sadder than the others, it needed something to reflect that. And we ended up with that. So.
It was excellent. I really noticed it and really enjoyed the difference in vibe, because you get so used to hearing that jingle, and especially like the subject matter is something that's quite close to my family's heart, and it's a topic that we've discussed quite a lot. And when you get a touchstone moment like that, it's got a really evocative feel. I think it was very effective. I think you really nailed it.
Thanks.
I do too. Gorgeous job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, really good music all around, all of it.
Yeah, lovely.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's pretty much my questions. We're going to open it up to either you guys for each other, and our lovely audience members who have been sitting in silence and darkness without their cameras. So if you want to either type a question in the chat and we'll answer it that way, or just pop your microphone on really quickly to ask your question, that would be amazing.
Carrie, just to mention that, yeah, just to check the waiting room in case, because some
people... there's no waiting room.
Okay, cool.
Natalie and I have been, and Sarah and I have been on it.
No, just because someone told me that the link didn't work, and I resent it, so that's why.
Oh. Okay, well, I can't, and Zoom's not told me anything, so.
Okay, cool.
Cool, yeah. So, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah. I've got a question, Sarah. Can I have a glass of wine as well, please?
Yeah, I feel like
it's not wine. It's actually
all have some wine
in a wine glass, because that's like a weird mix of the only glass that's clean / I don't want to drink out of the bottle because they came from the supermarket today and I might get coronavirus from it, even though I'm touching it. So
fair.
We can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going down here now.
Yeah, because you guys are in Spain, aren't you?
We're in Madrid.
Yeah.
We are in the south of Madrid now. It was such a big surprise meeting Eric here. That was great. And yeah, I'm having a great time. So yeah, show them.
I'm going to show
You
you.
can call it Fuela.
Oh, can you see? No, you just see yourself basically.
Yeah.
Well, we can see ourselves in the reflection, yeah. So,
Oh, I can't. Yeah, turn off the lights. God, yeah, talk about being technical.
Try.
gorgeous.
No, it's shit.
Very jealous.
Just fire the
So
DP.
you have to come to see it now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, wait for 2 or 3 months, so we'll see. No, but yeah, it was so nice meeting Eric. I'm having a great time here with you. I really love the lockdown. Thank you very much for doing films in these times, guys. It was wonderful. I had such a great time. Yeah. And I'm so happy Eric is here. And yes, here we are. It's very hot, and that's all. It's crazy. Any questions I had? I was thinking I had some questions. Yeah, I wanted to ask you, please, guys, because I was not sure if you mentioned it or not. Where were each of you geographically talking? Because I have some doubts on that.
Oh yeah, Alex is in Spain as well, no?
I mean, during the
I know, during the series.
you were
Oh,
yeah, but
Yeah.
for the well, just what we saw.
I was in London,
I was in Whitechapel.
East London, close to Eric actually. We were quite close to each other, but
Yeah.
yet so far.
The 3 of us are close because I'm in East London as
You're
well.
right.
I think
Yeah.
I'm in Plaistow. I think Alex is in Stepney and Eric is in Whitechapel.
Whitechapel, yeah.
Right.
So we can actually shoot the follow up and have them have a drink in the park when lockdown is finished.
I'll stay on Skype. 'cause I'm in London.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that only it's Alexandra who was in Paris while we were shooting, and then everybody else was in London, or I think Kate was in the countryside at the beginning and then moved back to London.
Where were you in London, Alex? Alex
Wadden.
I was shooting in Putney, so West London. You know, sorry, all you East London guys, letting you down.
How about Elroy? Oh, Mia was in Brighton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all over. But
So
that's the beauty of filming remotely. You can be anywhere.
I was gonna say that's the one good thing of lockdown is that people were able to create no matter where they were geographically through things like Zoom or Skype or what app was it that you guys used again for filming?
Filmic Pro.
Filmic Pro.
Yeah.
So
Which was fun.
Yeah.
Had you guys used Filmic Pro before? Or was this the first time you guys had used it for something?
I use it for self-tapes.
Okay.
When I can't attend a casting, sometimes you can send a self-tape. So that's what we do, a casting on tape. It's good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I think the other the tricky thing filming this one was we had to make it literally feel like the same room or the same house, same part of the same house. I remember when we were doing the production design in your bathroom, Eric, we were trying to make it match. Obviously there's just a little bit where you go through Melissa's house and up to the bathroom. Luckily we both had white doors, which was first tick. Yeah, just trying to get things sent to Eric's house or find things that we could plant around Eric's bathroom to make it look more feminine, for a better word. Yeah, more of, Lizzie's vibe. And that was quite fun. And that's why we bought also the matching mugs, like to kind of cheat and make it look like one was being passed to the other, which I thought, worked quite nicely.
And you needed that. I think that was a good touch to get into the frame of mind and the convention that it's the same house.
Yeah.
That she's really good. But we shot across 2 or 3 weeks or something. So my bathroom was very Lizzie for quite some time. With the little towels,
Yes.
rolled up in the toilet.
Well, you were lucky actually. I got Melissa to reshoot a few things, which I don't know if you noticed, Melissa.
My hair was longer.
Yes.
You noticed?
I don't think you noticed, did you? Really, in
Yeah,
the
you did really well.
yeah. I didn't use much of that of the new footage. I ended up only needing a tiny bit of it to make the rest of the footage work, actually, which I felt quite bad after. I was like, can I have this, and then I want this, and then I want you up and down the stairs and this bit, and I might use this, and you were like, okay. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to use that. Sorry. But it's worth it, you know. Then we
Yeah.
sort of
process. Exactly. Well, no, I was really worried in the reshoots because my hair was somewhere like down here, and when we'd originally shot, it felt a lot higher. So I was thinking,
Yeah.
oh my god, how's she going to do that?
But you were moving around in that because it was for the last episode, and I think because you'd moved around a bit, people wouldn't notice it as much. I don't know. Elle probably did. I mean, he noticed the door. Did anybody else notice the door? Shut up, Alex.
But you forgive it. So it's what you said at the start. You forgive it because we're like, okay, I know the process and I know we had to make it. And the other thing I noticed was there was a difference in wall covering, like the tiles are visible and then there's no tiles visible. But you kind of accept it. And also there was a shot where the first couple of episodes I thought, yeah, the door's obviously a slightly different way around and, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But then by the final episode, it looked like you had a different light position, Melissa, and I wondered whether the door had been opened and the door was actually off to your left in the shot, so like camera right in the shot, and almost like the door that you were sitting against wasn't the door that was the bathroom door. You were like, it was next to you. So I kind of just forgave it and just like got on with it. I don't think it was a problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think we contemplated grading it ourselves, but this was last week when the other two had kind of already started being released, and then the third one was scheduled, and we were like, oh, we're not graders.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
But it didn't fail. It looked great. Like I think it worked in the way that it had a different quality to it, almost as if post the revelation, you know, post Eric's character's choice and Alex's character, Felix like coming to the door, all of that stuff in terms of narrative sense, there is like something, what do they call it? Well, you know, where there's like is it pathetic fallacy? Where like it's a sad scene and then it rains. You know, there's something uplifting about like that image having a quality of light that wasn't there before that I think is a nice coincidence that adds something.
It was on purpose. It was all on purpose.
Absolutely. That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah. You got the gobo rigged up by the gaffer, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Okay, cool. Any more questions from anybody, or should we call it a night?
I mean, our audience has been very, very quiet tonight, which is absolutely fine. We don't pressure you into
answered all
asking any questions. I can't talk, so I think we probably should wrap this up. I wouldn't be doing my job as a social media person if I didn't give you the social media handles. While the series have finished, Reframed have other series on their YouTube channel, and I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be more in the future for the collective. So on Instagram, sorry, my husband's just coming in. Instagram is Reframed Collective. YouTube is Reframed Group, and Reframed Collective and Lockdown and Series on Facebook. So thank you for joining us tonight. We'll probably have a replay of this up.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Zoe, thank you so much for all your help.
Yes.
You've been incredible. We wouldn't be lost without you.
Thank you.
It was like a crash course in social media.
Yeah. Like,
Which we absolutely needed.
Any social media or sound. Obviously these two, Alex and Haresh and David as well, but you know.
Yeah.
Ole.
So have a great night, have a great weekend, and hopefully we will all be back to normal soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you.